Okay, I will call the meeting to order. We have resolution number 197-24. Be it resolved that the meeting be convened at 7 PM with Mayor Ray Muirhead in the chair. Moved by,
Mike,
seconded by.
Yep.
All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have roll call. Muirhead present, Calhoun present, Anderson present, Ray present, Studak present, Youth Councilor Downey present. Mr. Christer is present. Welcome aboard again.
been learning from the mayor, he's borrowed a pen.
That's good. There's the adoption of the agenda. We have resolution number 198-23. Be it resolved that the agenda for the regular meeting of August 13th, 2024 be adopted as circulated. Moved by.
Yeah.
Seconded by.
She'll second.
Debbie. Any additions, deletions? None? All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have the adoption of minutes. We have resolution number 199-24. Be it resolved that the minutes for the regular meeting of July 9th, special meeting of July 30th, and the joint committee meeting of July 22nd be adopted as circulated. Moved by.
Mike.
Seconded by.
Yep.
Any errors or omissions? Being none, all those in favor, opposed, that is carried. Finance and accounts. We have the ACAO report. I think we all should have read that. Any questions, comments, concerns? Pretty straightforward. We made what, $147,000 off of our,
That, yeah, that, I was about to say that for the financial, one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, yeah.
okay, we moved to resolution number 200-24.
Oh, sorry, I thought you, my bad, I thought you skipped it, Ray.
No,
My
okay.
bad, dude.
Resolution number 224, be it resolved, the council accept the report from ACAO McConnell as presented. Moved by.
Mike.
Oh, sorry.
Seconded by. Bill.
Yeah.
All those in favor? Opposed, carried. We have resolution 201-24, be it resolved that the financial statement and bank reconciliation for July 2024 be approved. Moved by.
Yep.
Seconded by. Debbie. Any questions, concerns, comments?
Is this that straightforward, just that like you've been talking about that,
Yeah,
that laddering or whatever? Yeah. There you go.
all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have resolution number 202-24. Be it resolved that the accounts check number 15247 to check number 15332 totaling $248,139.91 and direct withdrawals of $94,836.38 be approved for payment. Moved by.
Yeah.
Seconded by.
Debbie,
Debbie. Any questions? Bill, you went over them
I
all.
went over the checks, everything's in order, I didn't find anything untoward.
You didn't find anything there can't be.
Well, I'm not saying,
All
Is
those-
sorry, is this the only one mid-plains? Did we buy something big at mid-plains?
there was a safety then, or safeties.
Was that safeties? Okay, okay, good enough. I just
Well,
wasn't
there's
six
a-
bad.
I stand correct.
All those in favor? Opposed, that's carried. Okay, we have some bylaws, engine retarder brake bylaw discussion. We all know what this is about, what,
Well, after we had it at the joint meeting, things quieted down for quite a while, but it's starting all over again. There was one day, in fact, I think I told you, Grady, that this truck must have been coming into town up to Ramsey's and just gearing down, every gear down. And I live, well, almost a quarter mile east of that. But this must be aggravating for people that are right next to the highway.
Yeah, like we can, you guys can pass a bylaw for inside town limits, so that would help Wellwood Road.
Yeah.
But again, we can't do anything about the bypass.
No, I realize that.
Yes.
So maybe we can make one for our limits, and if it's not being followed, we can call the peace officers there. Cause they'd probably be able to do something more than police, like the police are a little busy.
So
but-
who would enforce that actually? Those guys that look after highways or our bylaw officers?
Could be either one,
Mhm.
the motor carrier enforcement or our crew.
So where exactly do our town limits start on Wellwood Road?
Railway tracks,
Okay,
and then,
so could
in
we
from-
put up a sign right there or right
well,
before?
we have to pass a bylaw first.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
okay.
then signage would go up after that.
What's everyone's thoughts, bylaw?
And wondered.
I think it's a good idea, especially if you're gonna get a campsite out there.
Well, that-
I mean, we can't, like, again, we can't do anything about the highway.
Right.
in
No.
Town,
There's a lot of.
we can lobby from the for the RM,
Yeah.
but. For our own limits anyways, we can say we're doing something, and then if it's becoming a huge problem,
It's
like truck after truck, then. We can get the motor carrier, like Brady said, like the peace officers to get in there to, stop them or
It's
whatever.
getting more popular. Most towns you come into
Yeah.
now will have that signage.
it goes
Yeah.
Slow almost every town's got
Yeah.
signage.
Well, we had,
Brandon has that as well too.
we had a delegation here, so I think we'll look proactive on our part if we,
I think it's a good idea.
Mhm.
I guess,
Okay,
that give you a direction, Grady? Yep. Good. Traffic bylaw update. We had a couple of highlighted spots in the traffic bylaw.
There's traffic bylaw. North side of First Avenue from Ottawa. The point XX feet on the west. East side of Market Street first.
So that's just for the walking path on Market?
Yeah, and then that section on First Avenue, just till we having issues by the hospital there. Across from East End.
it's a bad spot, right at that corner, it's just terrible. You get a big truck in there and
But you can't see her.
you can't see.
Well, school buses as well, they park there and they park like.
No, potato farmers
Potato.
with
Yeah.
trucks right at the
Yeah.
frickin' corner,
Yeah.
or big
Some
trucks
school
with
buses and some campers and some, yeah, lots of
Yeah.
big stuff, yeah.
like it's.
People stop running over the subway and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll read this resolution then. We have resolution 203-24, be it resolved that bylaw 06/2024. Being a bylaw to amend the town of Carberry traffic bylaw hereby be read a first time, moved by,
Bill,
seconded by.
Like, like,
Talked about it, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. So we have the second resolution. Number 204-24, be it resolved that the bylaw 06/2024. Being a bylaw to amend the town of Carberry traffic bylaw hereby be read the second time, moved by.
Yep.
Tony, seconded by,
Mike,
all those in favor?
I just got one,
Carried.
yeah, I just got one question on that bylaw. I know it's going a little overboard, but the 30, I just can't remember where the 30 km/h zone starts, Grady, does it start before East End?
yep,
Yeah,
Mhm.
Okay, that's what I was just double checking.
have a walk for.
yeah,
Okay, I was just double checking because if it was, like, as long as it was even 30 through there, even if someone was parked in it, weren't supposed to be, at least people should be going 30. Through there, so if you have to nose out around something big.
Yeah.
They're not going as fast,
I
I
know,
was just double checking. If we're doing the bylaw right, you know what I mean? Good.
that zone applies all year too, it's not.
Yeah, it's not from June
No.
or September to June, right, so.
The other thing I've noticed is people doing U-turns right on the street here. In fact, one did it in front of me today. Just all
Like here
here,
on the main street.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
all the time. Like this.
Actually looked in the Higher Traffic Act and it's not illegal
No, but it's in our bylaw.
at the intersections.
At the intersection, not, but not in the middle of the street.
Not if you're.
I think I changed that.
are you sure the 30 is all year round?
Yes,
Yeah, it
it
is,
is.
yeah.
It
Oh,
is.
I thought it stopped like.
Not everyone
Yeah.
follows it, but no,
It
it's,
says Monday to Friday, doesn't say September to June, it just said Monday.
and I think the reason why we did that is because we talked about it before when we did, remember we had the complaints about people not stuff. So because the day camps and the kids from the daycare walking to the pool
Mhm.
and all those things, we kept it
Hospitals
year
there,
around
the
hospitals.
ambulance garage is
And
there.
people were walking to East End.
Yeah.
Those things like the daycare, take the kids out for walks and stuff.
I had lots of people around that
So-
already in the last month.
Yeah, so we kept it 30 all year round, because that kind of block is always with young children and stuff, so.
Okay, moving on, we have unfinished business, we are gonna talk about 1 and 5 intersection. So we had our initial consultation around the table here with people on Zoom. And plus the public hearing, the first one was given in the hall. And I guess we all know there's gonna be 3. We have the first one. We're supposed to kind of go around the table amongst ourselves, or all the shareholders, which is us is one here. And just decide, I guess, as a group, which way we would like to see the intersection, the choices of the intersection. So we've got another second consultation coming up late fall, and I think the third and final one is early winter. And then, they're gonna get everybody together and make one final proposal to highways, right?
Yeah.
So, I guess we go around the table and what's everybody think? Start with you, Mike. What's your thoughts on it?
No, I'm gonna say overpass. Because if it's gonna be the flagship for the rest of the province and the highway number 1. It's the proper way to do it. In my opinion, like the J.
Yeah.
The J hook thing, we're gonna have vehicles going, turning right, then cutting across 3 lanes of traffic, well, really 4, because they're gonna get in the turn lane. Then they gotta U-turn on the highway, and both ways it's east and west, so either the sun's coming up or going down. So school buses in the morning or the evening are on the wrong place, then you got double 53-foot semis trying to get around there, then they gotta speed up just to turn right again. So that's one, the roundabout, I get it. You know, with the whole, no real lives lost, property damage, but that means like, even, I'll be selfish, even me as a firefighter, find myself on the highway way more for small accidents. And then puts us in danger as well, too, right, because that's the most dangerous place for us is the highway. So, so for me anyways. It's used across really North America, everywhere else, the overpass. They kind of had it as an underpass,
Yeah.
whatever, either or underpass, overpass, whatever, but that cloverleaf. That's the normal standard when you go through the interstates in the United States or anywhere other highway. So unless they slow the speed limit right down. There, but for me, that's my opinion is the overpass or underpass, either way.
Okay, so before I go to you, Debbie, I just wanted to say, I know the overpass wasn't an option, but can we still say overpass? Like we were
Well, I
given, what,
think-
3 or 4 options?
Yeah, but
We
I
have to
think
stick within
everything's
it?
back on the table right now,
Is it?
what the presentation was there, like they're looking at everything again.
Okay.
Not just what was talked about in the in-service road safety review.
Okay.
So everything is back on the table, and one of the options was
Jug handle.
well, what do they call it,
Car cut.
no, the technical name for an overpass, elevated interchange or.
Yeah, they showed it as like an
Yeah.
under one.
Yeah, it was
under.
Yeah.
Grade separation.
Grade
interchange or-
separation, yeah.
Yeah, something like that, so an overpass was.
So it's more back on the table than possible.
Everything, all of those options are back on the table then, and then some, yeah.
You're on, Debbie.
Okay, so I agree with Mike, that would be my first choice is the under, over, whatever we're calling it, grade pass.
Yeah.
I think it's the safest for our community with the industry that we have around here. With, not only this last accident, I've been in healthcare for 42 years and there's been more than that treacherous accident out there that has taken more than one life. At that intersection. I don't agree with the lights. Twice now in Brandon with the reduced speed limit on 18th and, number one, we have just about been hit by semis going through red lights. So I don't agree with the lights at all. It would be better than nothing, I guess. My second choice would be a roundabout, but a large roundabout. Not the little piddly one that they had at Portage, because we also saw potato trucks that have the extra length and the long load. Tractor trailers going around that and having a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And not to mention your safety issues with accidents at those types of things. So that's my opinion. on those.
Overpass,
Yep, that would be my number one choice.
Johnny,
I would agree with the overpass, however, being realistic, it's not gonna happen. There's 75 intersections at 38 million per. So the government being the government is not gonna spend that kind of money, and everybody else, if they build one here, everybody else is gonna want one. So. Just to be realistic, I will say my first choice is the overpass. It's the safest thing. Being painfully honest, I don't believe it's gonna happen. So I would go with the roundabout as well, and I agree, it's gotta be big enough to do double loaded semis and.
but I'm just marking this down, your first choice was overpass,
Yeah.
ultimately.
Yeah.
Okay, Bill,
Ultimately, I agree with John and Mike and Debbie. Overpass would be choice number one. Choice number two would be roundabout. Choice number three would be a slotted left, or I think they call it. Where it's like picture First Street in Brandon at the bottom of the hill, where you actually go
Yeah.
into that slot to turn left. So a semi, for example, if it was made long enough, a double length semi could get in there and only have to make a 45-degree turn instead of a 90.
Right.
First of all,
Mhm.
and a reduced speed zone of 80 and also widen the median at the same time.
first choice, overpass,
First choice, we're not gonna get an overpass, so first choice would be option three.
so your first choice would be, what's it called again?
I think it's a slotted left.
Is the widening of the median, that's really, that was the
We
option.
need the
yeah.
widening of the median,
And
a reduced speed limit to 80 through there to begin with. And a slotted left turn.
Okay,
Mhm.
my turn?
Mhm.
I would have leaned towards the roundabout for the reasons you gave, but I didn't know everything was back on the table, so if it's back on the table, I lean towards the overpass as well. If there's enough people lean towards the overpass. If we have the unfortunate reputation of having the worst traffic accident in the
Mhm.
province's history, maybe that might pull some strings cost wise, I don't know, but. Yeah, overpass, and then nothing's affected, the speeds and, so we've got 4 overpasses. And a slotted left. So we're going with our recommendation to be an overpass, majority rule.
Yeah, I just wanna say one last
And
thing,
those roundabout is
yeah,
an option.
one last thing, but just like, right now. Like the eyes are on us about what's gonna happen for all major intersections with Trans Canada Highway, so we're kind of like. And again, we're kind of being looked at as. The leaders of what's gonna happen there, right?
Yeah.
So we're not only looking just at Carberry, but looking for the whole province,
Yeah.
so hopefully if they listen to us.
Yeah.
And they do this, it's again, we're the flagship for fixing the highway almost on, we didn't want it with that accident, obviously, we never want to see that many people get killed or injured.
Yeah.
But if they're gonna do something, we gotta do it, again, if we're gonna do it right, we're gonna do it right, we're gonna push for the right thing.
Yeah.
Right first, so they can say no all they want, but we're at least gonna keep
Mhm.
pushing for it.
I think after the accident happened too, from what I've seen on social media and talking to people. That was the general consensus of everybody I talked to, put an overpass in. So are we good with overpass?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Overpass. Thank you. We'll move on to youth counselor appointment. We have a resolution number 205-24, be it resolved that council appoint Christopher Boganis as youth counselor for a 2-year term, moved by,
Mike,
seconded by Debbie. All those in favor? Welcome aboard.
We should have
But you don't
introduced
get-
ourselves.
yeah.
though.
I think we did already, didn't we?
Yeah,
he was
we
here
did.
last
He
time.
was here the last couple of meetings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll move on to general business, added/deleted tax. We have a resolution. Number 206-24, be it resolved that council make the following changes to the 2024 assessment roll. In accordance with section 306 and 326 of the Municipal Act. Added taxes, $31,572.96. Deleted taxes, $5,028.36. Net added taxes are $26,544.60. Moved by,
Bill,
seconded by.
Okay.
Any questions? None? All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. tax sale auctions.
I read this.
Mhm.
Where is it? Yes. Options.
Alright, so with the upcoming tax sale, if everything goes, if we do end up at an auction, the council will need to. Decide. How you wanna go forward, so there's three options. One of them is to. Set a designate to. Bid on your behalf, if you wanna let it go. Just into live auction and you wanna bid against others. One of the other options is to, set a reserve bid. Which has to be the amount of the tax arrears and costs, so everything that's owing up to. That
We
day,
can't make a number up.
no, you can't have an arbitrary number, it has to be the
Yeah.
number for
Yeah.
arrears and fees. Or you can set, go without a reserve bid. And purchase it for as little as $1. And this way you'd have to have a designated officer represent to bid $1. Cause if nobody bids, if there's no reserve on it, then it stays with the present owner. And then the account stays on the tax roll.
So. What do we wanna do? Okay, so the way, I just glanced over this. We have a right to bid on it as the town.
Yeah.
So we can set the reserve. And start the bid from the town at that, we have the right to do that?
You would,
Like, let's just use $5,000 as an arbitrary number.
so if it doesn't get to reserve, then the town takes it on.
Yeah,
If it does meet reserve, then it would go to the highest bidder. If you don't set a reserve. And nobody bids, and we don't have a representative bidding on our behalf. Then the property stays with the current owner.
that's what you take.
But if we bid for $1. And then. Like, let's say it's a derelict property or whatever. No one bids on it, we put it for $1, no one even bids $2 on it. We can take it, demolish it, and then sell
Yes.
that land for at least the money that we. Like, cause then technically we can sell it for the demo, let's say it is a demo building like the old town shop, was it? Or that house that burned down.
Yeah.
For the cost of what was arrears and the cost of the demo, because we bought it for $1, then we could sell that lot for pretty much the. The price of what we break even sort of thing,
Depending on the cost, yeah.
for the dollar part, but if it's for the other part, then it's just for what's arrears of taxes and. We can set the baseline for that,
So.
yeah.
What do we as a council wanna do with this building? Are we interested in bidding on it and getting it, which we probably will end up with it anyway? Or do we take a chance that somebody buys it? And it sits there for another 25 years, cause they can't afford to do anything with it. Whereas if we get it, at least we're in the driver's seat and we can make some plans. They might not happen overnight or in the next year, or whatever, but at least we can set the wheels in motion.
But if we set a reserve for what's arrears,
Yeah,
is it not a wash if we buy it for the arrears, because we're just paying ourselves the
yeah,
tax money
that's kind
anyway?
of what I was thinking, yeah,
Other than the
Somebody
books
buys it
having a-
For $1, we're not getting nothing either.
yeah.
Right,
Right,
So we'll set the reserve, if somebody buys it for more than reserve, we get our money back. If not, then we sell it for what we wanna sell it, cause we own it.
yeah, either way, we're still
Either
the
way,
same
you
amount
make
in the
some money
bank,
back.
right?
So, okay, I get that, but and I'm gonna use 5,000 as an arbitrary number, let's say the reserve is 5,000. If somebody comes off the street and bids 5,001. Are we as a council interested in bidding 5,002, or what's everybody's thoughts? Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, cause if they go 5,001, we get our money back.
I guess what I'm asking is the town's not interested in taking it on and doing the same thing there as the style shop. And. The old public workshop and moving ahead and getting rid of these things. I mean, the bank's only been bitched about for the last how many years, so.
And it's still,
I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know what it would cost to tear the rest of it down. See the
So
heads
you put it
down.
up for reserve, if you don't get it, you own it, you can do whatever demolitions you wanna do, and then you put the up for sale for whatever price you want.
No, but if no one buys it for the reserve.
Well, if
then
somebody
still-
buys it, yeah.
No, but if no
nobody
one buys it,
Then we own the building, we can demolish it anytime we want, and we can sell it for whatever price we want, cause we own it.
no, but I thought if you put it up for the amount owed. Then we don't get it. Am I
No,
reading
as
that wrong?
long as, if you set the, so
Oh, okay,
if you set a reserve and, um. So the municipality may set a reserve bid, and if it does, the reserve bid must be in the amount of tax in theirs. If there's no bid over the reserve price, the municipality will take ownership of the property.
okay, that's where I was maybe reading it wrong, my bad.
So if you set a reserve on it and it doesn't meet reserve, it's yours. Or you can not set a reserve, then you have to bid on it. Cause if it doesn't sell and without reserve, then it stays with the current owner.
Potato, really.
So I was just wondering what council's thoughts were. I know, I know it would be nice for somebody to come and buy it, but. Just speaking out loud, if somebody, like using that same $5,000 and somebody comes and bids 5,001, okay, fine, we get $5,001 out of it. But what if it's somebody that wants to just leave it there for the next 20 years? Is that in the best interest of the town of Carberry?
But then then we'll just have to get them with the proper bylaws and just make sure we have the teeth, right? So we hit them with the 1, 2, 3 order, and then if they don't, then we go ahead and do it just like we did other properties and clean it up, and then they're owed for the bill. And if they don't pay the bill, then we go
But
sell it for the.
But that's
we've been
another
doing that for how
3 to
many
5
years
years down the
and
road.
where are we at kind of thing?
So
Like, I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know.
you can discuss further what you guys wanna do with it. At a later time, you have to just decide if you're gonna put a reserve on it or not right now. My caution to you is if you own that building, it becomes the town's liability, and now it's a safety hazard.
Mhm.
And it's not a matter of when we wanna do something with it, it's a matter of we need to do something with it now, because now it's our liability. And if something happens there and it takes it to the neighbor's house,
Mhm.
or
Or their garden.
worse, right, or worse.
Or
and-
worse.
And now that's on the town of Carberry, it's not on the property owner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking, if it reverts to us, cause nobody buys a place, we're not gonna wait to tear it down, it's coming down, as soon as we can get
It'll
somebody
have to,
in line to.
we can't sit on.
I don't have an issue for that,
And it's gonna be significant.
it is gonna be significant, and we're not gonna get our money back.
Unfortunately, it's been going through all the councils and we're the ones,
Yep.
you know, it's.
We will
it's
never, we
unfortunate.
will never recoup all our funds.
No.
Ever on that building.
Well, then if we set the reserve, what's the reserve gonna be? Grady, what do you think?
I'd have to look back, but it's,
Or do we need to know that tonight or?
no, you just have to say that you're gonna set a reserve for the
Okay.
arrears and
Mhm.
fees.
We can figure out the amount, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure.
absolutely,
go
it
ahead.
has to be,
Yeah,
at least we'll get the taxes back.
yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
Somebody else buys it and we don't have to tear it down. I
Okay.
mean, they have to be aware that we're not gonna wait 8 years, like we already have.
So it's
It's a safety
going,
issue.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that's all we have to know on that, Grady?
Just a minute, I'm writing a resolution here.
Okay. Maybe you'll buy it.
Well,
Like you heard me the first time.
this is more of.
I could get a woodworking shop.
No, I don't need one.
So,
I'm already selling off equipment.
207-24, be it resolved that the town of Carberry set a reserve. Amount for for arrears and fees at the 2024 tax sale and name CAO Stevenson as designated officer to bid on their behalf.
Sounds good. We have a mover, Mike, seconder,
Okay.
Debbie, all those in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Right on,
I got it.
let's get her down.
Okay, you got enough on that, Grady?
Yeah.
Move on to outside user coverage of facilities. I think we've all read that. That's
Mhm.
insurance purposes, that sort of stuff. Is that? We don't do that now, do we?
No, and that's something that needs to be discussed, as if you guys would like to see that implemented, and we can start looking into.
Really makes sense.
Mhm.
Yes, it's definitely these days.
Yeah.
100%.
Take a look at the guy that took a wrong turn and ended up at the bottom of that pool.
Yes.
Like not, it was a user, but there's just anything get out.
Well, any any function or anything that happens there, and we're getting the Scotties in and all these sorts of things, right? So.
Yeah, makes sense.
100%, yeah.
So one thing about people having to have their own insurance on this, we gotta make it easy for them to get it.
It is easy. They
It
can get
is.
through our insurance provider.
Okay.
So it'd be something like if they went to go use the facility, it'd be part of their package of
Agreement, they
what
just
their
go online
agreement,
and
yeah,
fill it out.
User
Well,
agreement.
that's-
is the-
They already have
Yeah,
their own
but there's
insurance.
sign the thing, right?
There's an online portal that we can direct people to that they can purchase a rider
Okay.
through our insurance company. That's super easy. to do.
It didn't seem too expensive, did it?
No, it's not.
No, it's nothing
A
really.
full season of like adult hockey is like $150 or something like that.
That's worth it in itself.
Yeah, so if someone goes into the boards and cracks their neck or whatever, like, or falls down, slips on the ice or something. Is
So
that-
does
yeah.
apply to socials as well and things like that?
All users.
It can apply to all facilities, yeah.
Mhm.
So we'll do some research and have it on the joint agenda for the end of the month with them.
Yeah, good.
Well, I'm not gonna be there, but
Okay.
we'll have it ready for it.
Former town shop property.
So now we are where we are with that. It's all cleaned up and they did a fantastic job. We just need to decide what the next move is. I know there was discussion about moving that old 2-car over there and that may or may not be the best thing at this point. But we need to decide soon what you guys want to see happen there.
If I had. Well, if I had my brothers, as it were, I would leave that 2-car garage that's there now where it is. It's sitting on a foundation, it's insulated, it's wired, it could be usable. In order to move that from there over here, there's the cost. And then to retrofit that, you know, where the doors and everything are, by the time you're done. And it's gonna stick out there, you're gonna wanna pretty it up, you're not gonna want all that rotten old siding on the back and stuff. So we left it where it was. And then decided, like I know Bill, you had mentioned at some point, doing a new underground beside the existing underground and just deleting that. We could talk about that to buy us some time though, why don't we just do what we did? With, when Scott just ordered it in there. Worst got to worst, like you only need 4 or 5 feet off the ground, you put that. Garage over there, you're heating empty space, and if you just ordered it in, and then for the winter time. You know, you've got your insulated tarps, and if you wanted to, you could just put some quick sheets of tin around it, just. And then we've got. The winter, it'd be the same as last winter, we just monitor the temperature, if you're just putting a little heater in there, but. I don't know, that's my opinion, cause. If you move that structure over there. Retrofit it, everything set it down there. It somewhat becomes permanent. And then, is that gonna get in the way? Of any future fire department needs or wants, like right now. If you did what Bill suggested and get rid of that underground reservoir at some point. You've got a clear, open. Would that be beneficial to the fire departments of the future? I don't know, for possible add-on for training grounds. I don't know, or what, if somewhere down the road, if we got rid of that. I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there, I'm thinking about it, but.
Actually, we had looked at it one day and they suggested putting a grain bin over that.
Or that,
Insulated. With the door, so you can walk in there and full height. Spray on foam inside.
I don't know what it would cost to move that building over.
$500 is the local, yeah, I can't.
And then I don't know what it would cost to redo it all and insulate it and get it ready to where it needs to be, and then.
Yeah, it is insulated now, but, there's, like, to put tin on, it's not gonna cost you too much money, right? It's gonna be the materials, that stuff. Whether it be, put some volunteers together to do it on Saturday or whatever, but, I don't think the building would be in our way, like, we've been sort of thinking about what will go on over there and. That building could be used for storage for stuff that we have, like, there's stuff that can be put in there. That,
Like when you move it, or
yeah,
leave it where it is?
well, it's better if it's right there, like if it's moved over.
You almost have to put it on a footing though, would you not? With the perimeter footing,
Why?
well, not. It's not that level there. And that will not be treated plates, I'm almost sure of that.
Well, we could put treated plates down ahead of time. Just put a 2x6 on the ground, bolt her down.
That's, excuse me, that floor structure. Over top of the tank, is it strong enough? Does it meet code to support an existing building? Like if you've got a pad that thick?
Yeah, I don't know, I haven't looked that far into it, so I'm just trying to think of.
What's your thoughts, Mike?
Well, yeah, like that, yeah, really, our building or that building or whatever, they're. Like, we got stuff like summer, like wildland stuff that doesn't get used in the winter and these sorts of things that. Like that were put in that old shop before, before it was condemned. So it would be beneficial to really have that, for that storage, and then if. We're talking about training thing in the future, to have that there, and then just as part of that. Block, you know, for like whatever, if there was training tools or whatever that you lock away, right? Like really, like in the end, then it covers that cistern or whatever that is, and then it's another storage. For the fire department, it would, new tin or something would look brand new right beside the new hall, wouldn't look like anything old. So depending on like, again. Whether it's the cost of moving that building or what it would cost to put up a quick whole shed or a garage or whatever, right? But either or, it would work there, really, in the end.
Okay, so what's your thoughts there?
I'm not a fire. I'm not a fire person, but I mean, I think if we have the building, 6,500 isn't really. That much for moving a building that's already insulated. I guess I would vote for moving it closer if we can make it in conjunction with what our new fire hall looks like. So it doesn't look like a building that's just out of nowhere.
Good. Two for moving, Johnny?
I really haven't got a clue, to tell you the truth, but I will defer to the fire department, if they can use it,
Hmm,
let's do what we can for them.
The only other thing is where those two valves were, as lines come across the street and go back. You're gonna have to do something there.
Yeah, like we talked about before, just get a shed package or one of those she sheds that they sell up on the highway in Brandon, that style building. Goes there, there's a door with a punch code on it, if someone needs water, then they can just go get water, then we don't have to send staff over to fill up and. Those kind of things, right? We still need that water source there, that they don't have to come into the fire hall to get water. So to me, like, we would still use that and have just a little insulated doghouse sort of thing
Are
over
they
top.
using that now?
Oh, yeah, they
What do
use
they
for
use?
flowers and everything, cause it doesn't fire on the big pumps. We go and run the hose or the fill hose out of the station, someone's gotta, whoever's around during the day, it's gotta go and open the door,
Yeah.
pull the hose out. When they fill up the truck, then you gotta run to the pump house and shut the pump off. That other one, the water truck, whatever goes there, opens the door, they open the valve, they fill the truck up, close it, and it doesn't fire on the big pump or anything.
But they're using it this summer?
I don't know if they're using it
They're
this
not
summer, or not,
using it
but
this
up
summer.
until this summer, it's always been used.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because
And
the
that's
building's
what
been
was
It
used.
don't look like they're using it to me.
Well, maybe not this summer because of the demolition.
We got,
Mhm.
That's
three for moving the building, Bill?
Whatever, we gotta do something,
Mhm.
let's not dawdle on this. one.
Okay,
And
four for
just-
moving the building, so that's majority, we're moving the building.
Yeah, just one last thing, that we did talk to the RM when we told them that building was gonna get torn down. That they did agree, anything that was gonna happen there with the fire department training ground or whatever, that they were gonna. Go 50-50 on, we went back in their limits.
I
Just saying.
think the phone-
I'm just, I thought I'd just say it out loud, right, they did say that, so,
Okay.
because that water system. They do pay half for,
Yeah.
right, because it serves the RM as well, right, I'm just saying.
Okay,
So I just thought I'd, for the next joint meeting, right,
Mhm.
bring that up. when-
so that gives you a direction, Grady?
Yeah.
Good. Highway signage.
So some updates on that, I can't remember if I put that in the package or not, but there's gonna be some additional costs, and I don't know that I put it in. Just due to, it was gonna go on the joint agenda, because been talked about it as a joint project. But they're $500 per sign is the application fee to highways. And there may Kara's still looking, and there's 2 landowners that have agreed to provide spaces for it.
She has.
And still working on another one as well, but there may be a rent. Included in that, so.
So is this, sorry, Ray, was this the signs that are already kind of there that are old? Is that what we're talking
Yeah.
about?
That's
Okay.
what I was gonna ask, the
Yeah.
ones that kind of blew down, half of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we kind of agreed on the design there, I can put it up here, if it's not.
It's in Kara's report,
Right, it is.
the billboards.
Yeah, so this. Not that one.
No, this was her June
Is
report.
that in there?
It's in the June report
That's
for
in
the
there.
July meeting. If you have that.
Yeah. So it would be something like this, instead of the old family friends home one that's there right now. And then something like this is kind of what's been looked at, and then, so. NCL agreed that they would like to do 3 of them, so that would be the one from the north, one from the west, and one from the east. So it'll be, I think the total number was around $11,000 projected by the end of it, so 5,500 each. So just kind of wanted to give you an update on where that's at for right now. So once we can secure the landowners, then we could go from there. So still in process, but just to give everybody an update.
Yeah,
Okay. September meeting date. We have a resolution.
You want me just to talk about this first?
Yeah,
So,
okay, sure.
we have our MMA conference is gonna be the 9th, 10th, 11th of September in Winnipeg. So Teresa and I will both be at that, so if we can move the September meeting. Unless you guys wanna wait on your own.
a week later.
Later is definitely better for us.
Later fire meeting though.
Yeah,
We can make that work.
well, we can do it on Monday, right?
Yeah, we could do it on Monday.
I can't do the following Tuesday.
Yeah, no, so really no,
Do
Monday or Monday or Wednesday works.
Yeah,
So do the
Wednesday's not a good,
16th,
well, yeah.
That the Monday, Brady, or?
the Monday, the
Sure.
16th, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I'll just set a reminder on my phone just in case.
So
Can you say the 16th?
16.
that'll be resolution 25.
Well, we,
208.
Evergreen
Two
meeting,
eight.
yeah.
We have resolution number 208-24. Be
Sorry,
it resolved, the council moved the September 10th, 2024 regular council meeting to September 16th, 2024 at 7 P.M. due to the Manitoba Municipal Administrators Conference, moved by,
Mike,
seconded by Bill. All in favor? Opposed, carried. Done.
On my phone, so.
We have time for a youth council report. Who's giving the report?
I think I am, so, well, it's summer, there's not too much happening, the grads. Clothing went out, at the end of July, so we'll have grad clothing
Mhm.
come September. September 3rd, the new grade 5s, we get to meet the teachers, and then September 4th will be the first day of school.
oh,
Perfect.
all right.
it's like to say my daughter during the parade loved the sparkly dresses. She's holding the fire
She
truck.
wants one.
Oh.
That's it, Ethan? Okay, thank you very much. CAO report. I think we've read that, haven't we?
Mhm.
I have.
Questions? No. Economic development report, we've read that. Committee reports. Protective services. Anything?
street party next weekend for our 125th anniversary. I sent out a schedule yesterday for you guys, if anybody's interested in helping out with volunteering. Debbie and Dawn have volunteered to do some ticket sales for us.
I think I did too. That's next week, already?
Yeah,
Next Friday.
All right, you gotta miss the
Friday.
Palmer game. to go.
I never saw any reply from you, I don't think so.
I'm sorry,
Put
I
my
just,
name on that list.
I just noticed this because it was kind of going hand
Did you send it back to me though?
Shit, maybe I didn't. Well, I did
No.
sign up for tickets.
Okay.
I will do the early one.
I'll probably help out too.
Okay, yeah, you can let me know, just.
I'll help you get rid of the beer.
Just, yeah, maybe for the next one, we can add in the daycare committee,
Sure, yeah.
just cause like cause I go to that and give a report or whatever from the daycares. Cause sometimes they have fundraisers and stuff going on and, you know.
We just finished one.
Nothing more on protective services, we'll go to public works. We were supposed to have a meeting, but it didn't happen,
No.
so this is nothing.
They're
Buildings, anything on buildings?
working.
Callie showed me the pictures of that, cause I haven't been out to dump for a while, but my wife showed me the pictures of that new.
Looking good.
That was very impressive, just saying.
I was out
Just-
there
yeah.
on Saturday, I think. Friday or Saturday, Friday.
Yeah.
Just the way they laid it out for taking whatever, I'm just saying good, everybody involved with
Yeah.
that building, great, like, that's awesome,
Yeah.
very good job.
No, it's really good.
Just thought I'd say that.
Very nice.
Nothing on buildings, anything else?
Oh, there, we're still working on that CP building,
Yeah.
like the station needs to be done.
And then new sign on the community hall, I seen it
Yeah.
this weekend,
It's
looks
there.
great.
Yeah,
And then I seen the generator there, whether it's working, I don't know, but it's there and
Can you sign
people are
it
starting to
right,
notice
too?
that, yeah.
Commissioning is next Monday for the
Okay.
generator.
And the lettering on the rink as well, when you come into town, it doesn't look like a warehouse anymore, it actually says.
I think it's gonna get some lights.
Okay.
Shining over.
Either way, it looks great.
Yes,
So,
those
yeah,
things are.
those are little touches to things that,
Yeah.
just saying, like, you notice when you pull up the buildings. and
Yeah.
stuff,
Oh,
you
I've
notice
seen
those
them,
things,
yeah.
Okay, waste management, anything on waste management?
Awesome building.
Awesome building.
Awesome building. I've seen
Yeah,
it.
I got a Evergreen meeting on Monday, but at the last meeting, we've decided to we've already raised Spring Hills or Hog Factory's fees 20%. We've decided raising 20% again because we filled the cell 10 years early. And they're putting in as much waste as the rest of us combined, so
Well,
hopefully that will slow it down.
I just have one thing that I did notice too, like going to the community hall. I know we're beating a dead horse on this, but. There's a lot of household garbage that's in those
Oh.
bins.
Oh, there's a guy there with a truck full yesterday
I'm-
throwing them in there.
I know, I'm good, I'm just saying, like, again, we're paying for the tonnage. So maybe we just, we'll have another discussion another time, although I just know they're overflowing, like, that's.
I think Callie was gonna take them away on the east side, wasn't she?
It's being looked at, yeah,
Okay.
options.
Options, or we talk, next meeting, maybe we talk about options like we did, but we have to revisit it because. We're paying for the tonnage and all that stuff, and if it's just going in those bins, and the garbage belongs to people not from inside of town. Then we're paying for the tonnage, right, like, you know, and it only looks like a little bit, or might be a little bit in this little bin now, but. 1, 2, 3, 4 years, that tonnage adds up to a lot of money, so just.
I mean, if they do keep the bins there, maybe another thing to look at, we've talked about this before, is creating an enclosure. So the only people that have the key are the
Or
necessary
the
people.
bins that lock
Password
up,
or whatever, yeah.
the bins that lock up, and they have the key for it, right?
aren't
So,
those bins there supposed to be for the hall only?
no, they're for the businesses.
Businesses.
Oh,
Yeah, I used it when I was in.
You have to have something for them, that was, but they couldn't go behind the back lane. But we couldn't put them on Main Street, but because they're at the end of Main Street, the garbage was overflowing and blowing out, right, that was, and then the smell was going towards the motor, all sorts of things. We have to maybe just have a quick discussion, maybe have some other options to try something out, if it doesn't work, revert back or whatever, but. There's gotta be something, cause like I looked at them, both bins were just stacked and overflowing, it was wild.
last week was bad,
Yeah.
wasn't it last week?
Yeah, like I said, on Sunday, there's a truck there and he was right full. He probably had 20 or 30 bags in that truck and the thing was already like this and he's throwing them on top.
Okay, archives.
Oh, I got one more thing there too, contaminated recycling has gone to $250 a ton. At Evergreen. So. Make sure our recycling.
Once again, because of Spring Hills.
Yeah, Which is unfortunate that everybody's paying for that, cause it just goes for garbage and garbage is only.
So can we do like an education thing for Facebook?
Yeah, and we very,
Yeah.
very rarely have.
Yeah,
to tap
it is
into
very
stuff
rare,
like
it's
this.
mostly just Spring Hills,
Okay,
Yeah,
but there's the odd time that happens, but.
alright,
Yeah.
well, maybe just to keep everyone happy, we just,
Yeah.
did we do one before?
yeah,
We just reposted or reshare it again or
Yeah.
something?
yeah,
Then we could just say we just, throw another education out.
I don't think there's anything in archives. I haven't been to, maybe I haven't called one of
Our guys are
them.
pretty quiet.
Yeah, it's quiet.
Arts Council,
Just a note that it'll be, the date change for September is September 9th instead of the third Monday, due to Tamara's upcoming wedding.
Okay.
So September 9th is the next meeting there.
okay, cemetery,
The windmill is being repaired, the flowers and everything looks lovely out there.
yeah.
I was out there again the other day, beautiful,
Yeah, it is. It's
probably
gorgeous.
the best I think I've seen.
Mhm.
Museum?
Kudos to the-
So I did,
Kudos.
I saw Ken the other day and I mentioned to him that it looked pretty darn good.
Museum,
Sorry, I was just pulling up an email, there's some, but they got that enclosure
yeah.
kinda done,
Yeah.
and there was another thing here, sorry, I'm just trying to pull it up because. Some. Oh, they're doing, posters, for the, homecoming, they're gonna have a set up there at the,
Some hot dogs.
yeah, it's in, they were hoping to have that thing done for the homecoming and everything, but, so.
Good.
Again, if there's anybody looking, they're gonna have a photo booth. And other arrangements there, so kind of opening up the museum for everybody with a photo booth and I think some food and whatever else.
and event seniors,
Nothing new there, the air conditioning appears to be working quite well, I know we rented the place Saturday, it's great. And the handy van, I believe, is ordered. Other than that, I haven't heard too much from there, we
I
haven't had a meeting.
I attended a drop-in center meeting. Last
New board,
2 weeks ago, they do have some, fully new board. And one of the things that was talked about is some, being able to set up a clear line of communication between. Councils as building owners and the board. So one of the things that I did mention to them is that I would bring it forward to see if there was anyone who'd be interested in attending those board meetings. To act as that liaison, you're not a board member, you're not a voting member, you wouldn't be required to volunteer, but just to be that liaison between. The drop-in center board and council, so.
I can do that if you want. Okay, now, it'll be through like daytime meetings, right?
Usually they have them after their meal, I think, on.
Okay, yeah, I can do that if anybody else wants to. Okay.
I'd love to, but you already volunteered, so I'll let you do that.
Yeah, good try. Library,
Not a meeting until September.
okay. Health action,
we just had a meeting today and, we had guests from. The care team from, the youth care and, the lodge today, or the care home. And it was an interesting meeting, they presented some, pictures of, the proposed renovations to outside. And the courtyard, which is really nice, I thought. And we had a discussion about the happenings. With staffing and so on in the hospital and talked about quite a few things actually. And it was quite an interesting meeting actually. Other than that, I don't think I'm going to say too much more at this time.
yeah, I can talk about it in camera a little bit, I've been talking to Trina Slate. And Rena Loxley without, I don't wanna make an official announcement, but Trina Slate. Gave the go ahead to say expect some good news in September. So that's where we're at on that.
Checks in the mail.
Yeah, we've heard that before.
Something like
Planning, we haven't had our planning meeting yet. Thursday, yeah, right.
this Thursday here.
Alright,
Rachel's off this week, so it probably won't be Thursday.
Oh. Well, it's on my calendar for Thursday.
I'll check with Deb tomorrow.
Okay,
We might have rescheduled that, I forget. Anyways, we'll find it.
anyway, the next meeting is here in town.
Okay, rec board? Haven't had a meeting for a while.
No, I know we have a new member, Kelly
Kelly Hooper.
Hofer,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, White Mud.
We have a meeting until September.
Okay, that's that.
Do you wanna talk daycare?
Yeah, daycare really quick.
Okay.
They had that golf tournament. And all that stuff, they're new board and whatever, so. Sometimes they have questions and everything, so again, if we can just out of here and then I can bring up stuff that they have questions for, whatever. But they are doing like a pie in the face, I don't think you guys got my message.
Yeah.
But it's, they're trying to get like groups of like, community leaders or the fire department councils and whatever. And it's just for a little bit and people pay, for just a fun thing or whatever, so if we can help them out with that. Even if it's for 10 minutes of your day, that would really help them out and it really look good for. The town anyways, that shows that we're trying, we'll even get a pie in the face to help bring up daycare, kind of into town, it's their idea, so. I'm gonna go do it, I know you're gonna go do it, Gopher said he'd do it.
Take your glasses off first.
But please, before the homecoming, if you guys can get back to me and I can at least give them some
What's
names.
the date?
The homecoming this Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah, so I think they have like a two, correct me if I'm wrong, I'll put it back on the group chat,
Mhm.
but I think it's a
No,
2
homecoming
hour.
Saturday, week from Saturday.
Week from,
Two hour window, so they might divide it up like, hey, the council or mayor or whatever be on this, 10 minutes or whatever, then the fire department or the chief will be on this and whatever, so it won't be for 2 hours straight, just be whatever, so just think about it, if you guys please get back to me or whatever, even you guys, if you wanna take a pie at the face, it'll be for fun and whatever, so. We're not getting dunked into a water tank, so I'll take it like, and it's whipped cream, man, so. And they are doing a really good job and they're really trying and the volunteers there to get that going, they're really committed. And I'd like to really keep the momentum going for them and if we can give them anything to help them out, to get them started, that'd be great, so.
I would donate any kind of woodworking item to a raffle.
Yeah, or even like I said, what's happening, so maybe even come and hit me with a pie in the face for when I'm at a meeting, okay? Yeah, or Grady.
Resolution number 209. 24, be it resolved that all reports be received by council as provided or presented, moved by.
Yep, I'll second that.
Seconded by Johnny, all those in favor, opposed, that is carried. We have communications from NDIP funding.
Well, we only have to read off Fred's, really, right?
Yeah, that's just, everybody's read the rest of them, right?
That's awesome about that. That one, though,
Mhm.
Which one?
the one that they, sent to you.
Oh, yeah. So we have one from Fred DeWind about crosswalk or access. Want to read that, Greg?
Yeah, and I just wanna touch on the green and inclusive buildings, there probably will be a resolution coming up. And maybe even on this joint, if not in September meetings, we are looking at using that to do a bunch of stuff at the library. So doing the door, doing some insulation, and that opens up, if you're doing a green project. Then it opens up accessibility, so we can do the ramp, and it's 80%.
Awesome.
So
Wonderful.
Yeah, awesome.
Callie's working on that, sort of as we speak.
That's cool.
So this is addressed to council from Fred DeWind. Letters of follow-up on a request he made some time ago when I inquired about the possibility of placing a ramp across from the ramp close to the drop-in center. As a wheelchair user, I can't use that ramp as there's no ramp across the street. And I have to go to the end of the block just to get to the pharmacy, for example. Now that the weather is nice, that is no problem, but when the temperatures are in the freezing range or it is raining, it is less than pleasant. When I made the request at the town office, there was a man behind the counter. Sort of narrows it down to me, I guess. He told me that there is a lot of paperwork to have a ramp across the street, and it probably won't be approved. I've been thinking about this, and in the case of a ramp similar to the one by the drop-in, that might be so. Carberry has a lot of scooter, wheelchair, walker users, and a lot of senior citizens. One other possibility would be to lower the sidewalk. I'm requesting that this is established. I do this on behalf of Carberry senior population, scooter and wheelchair users. Signed, Fred Wind.
So he's talking about where the blue handicap section is in front of the pharmacy, right?
Yeah, so having, we talked about before about
Yeah.
having that center block crosswalk.
Yeah,
But that opens up a lot of other things like lights and signage and curb ball boats and things, and that's. More how it was explained to him when he asked before, like there'd be a process and it's a big capital expense to do that.
Yeah.
So, not saying that it can't happen, it's just it would require budgetary considerations and other things.
we haven't spent any money on sidewalks this year, other than that little bit by. The insurance place,
The $30,000 doesn't touch that project
this one or that?
No. down there.
That was all, that,
You have to have overhead lights and like. It'd be significant, right? Cause even those little lights we have at some of the crosswalks already, those are $10,000.
But they work, darn, they
For
work.
sure they do, yeah.
The only thing is. Carberry blocks are not that long, and if you go to the end of the block each way. You know, I don't wanna be rain on this parade, but it's not that far from the post office to. Wherever.
So, yeah, it's something that if you guys wanna talk about it more, we can look at, and we did talk about it, I think. Maybe in the winter or last fall or something like that, we did have a quick discussion.
well, yeah, again, we discussed this before. And again, because Grady's saying to do those sidewalks and then put the proper signage. Because the signs will be back between parked cars and then. All that other stuff, huge project for one. And it's a lot. The ramp that's there was for the handy van or people getting out of. Vans to go to the drop-in. The ramp wasn't put there to cross the street.
Right,
So just like any other major city, like we're not a major city, but if you go to anywhere else. There's not crosswalks every 30 feet for people to cross the street. You cross at the intersection, or if it's a large span. Then there'll be a crosswalk, right? Other than that,
When we had the thing at the drop-in, you know, like seniors community type summer, remember we did that twice?
Yeah,
When they did the final analysis on that, didn't they look at what we had and said, like, we conform to what is needed? Did I-
yeah, they made some suggestions for. More visibility and safety from like at our crosswalks, like this one here, having
Yeah.
those curb ball boats and having the signage out into the street and those kind of things, like. But,
What's everybody else think? Danny?
So,
Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
so why do we have to have signage if we just lower the sidewalk? We don't need crosswalk, we don't need signage, we just put in a cement curb that comes down to the road.
but then it funnels people to jaywalk technically. It's you're telling people to jaywalk in between
I'm
cars.
not telling people to do anything, I'm just
No, I
trying
know,
to
but
make it
you're-
easier for them.
I
If I
know.
get out of my vehicle in a chair. I either gotta go across the street all the way around. Or I get out of my chair and I can just go up the sidewalk.
But how would you do that? I was trying to think, like, I know the one they have in front of the drop-in is kind of a portable thing. You can pick it up and move it away.
Yeah.
Or is it secured now?
it's cement.
concrete,
it's
yeah.
cement.
Oh,
I'm not talking about everything on the road, I'm just talking about the sidewalk.
But if you go from the sidewalk and you project out, what you would have to do, what you're
But I'm
saying.
not projecting out, I'm just putting in, I'm taking off that 1.5 foot of curb there
Just to look.
and turning it so it's on
You're
our
gonna
own.
have to go right back to the building almost for proper slope though.
Yeah.
So now when you're going with your sidewalk or scooter, now you're going across the sidewalk and then you're doing this. Right, and then you're going back up.
Yeah, by cutting into the sidewalk to create that ramp, you're creating a tripping hazard. It's gonna be hell on clearing snow.
Yeah, well,
Got a
your
parking
slopes are
feature.
gonna be like you're an inch per foot, right?
Yeah.
So. You're gonna be minimum 6 inches, so minimum 6 feet in all directions from where you start that ramp. And that's from here, right? So if you make that ramp 4 feet wide. Now you're 8 feet from center line to where you start your slope, so now you've got that whole sidewalk dished out. And if you're gonna promote people crossing there, then you're gonna have to put the
Mhm.
signage and stuff in there. If something ever happens, they could come in and say, well, why did you do that? And you didn't put proper signage and safety measures in place.
You do that at Gilhan's now, it comes down like this. If you don't get over there, the whole thing goes like this.
That's what I was wondering, is how you would do it with that sidewalk, because you'd either have to do what you're saying is cut into it or project out, well, then you're projecting out and.
Yeah.
The first time the snowplow hits that, you know what'll happen.
It's a parking issue too. If you have people crossing there on scooters or walkers, especially with scooters, if they don't have the flags on the behind, you cannot see. If you're in a van with no backup. You cannot see behind you. If you're gonna have to extend the parking of no parking in that area.
Yeah.
For safety reasons.
This is what you end up with, you're gonna get right. Right, and you got your sidewalk that maps from here. Like that on both sides, you've got pedestrian crossing signs on all four corners that's out past where your vehicles are parked up.
Mhm.
Right, that's what you're gonna end up with, you're gonna do it safe, and then you're gonna do it properly, you're gonna have overhead lights. Or like this has to be far enough out, which you can't really do, cause then you're into your through traffic lane, right, you're not just doing your curb out.
Why do we have to not just do the sidewalk? That's a road. I'm not talking about the road.
I know, but if you promote people to cross in the middle of the block and you get a kid runs out behind two parked cars.
No, I understand that.
They're gonna get hit on the street, and then we're gonna be at fault, or we're gonna be liable because we were promoting people across here. And we didn't have proper safety measures in place.
Yeah, we looked at this, I looked at this before, it's called funneling, they call it. So if you funnel people into a position to get hit, you're a liable person. Cause you've made it a funneling access to make it easier to get somewhere, right?
So what does it look like at the drop-in? I'm sorry, I've
Just a ramp that, it's just a little ramp that comes out just a little bit, but it's more like. If a handy van pulls up or someone pulls up over here and they go across, they can get up to the drop-in. That's the point, because if they got off to go to the pharmacy, they'd be getting off curbside to go to the pharmacy in their wheelchair or whatever, or walker. But the ramp was just for, there's always been a ramp there right beside the fire hydrant
Yeah,
but it was metal before. But it was getting chewed up by the snowplow and it was like metal jagging up, so we had.
Yeah, or they redid the street, it had to be replaced because it got wrecked.
But it was more of a wheelchair ramp, like just from the handyman to get into the drop.
I don't, myself, my opinion, I just don't see an easy way to do this without creating. A bigger issue.
Yeah.
That's my
The
opinion.
easy way is to go 50 feet and across. Where you gotta cross the road, post office. That's the only,
That's what I'm saying. You show up and you got a walker in your back seat. You get out of your car, you get your walker. And if you're physically able to put it up there, you're fine. But if you're not, then you're gonna funnel along the other way because you're gonna go across the street and all the way around.
To a crosswalk.
Yeah, to the end of the block and then back down the side. But that's fine in the summer, but it gets 40 below and the wind's howling and these people
there
are
isn't an
handicapped.
There isn't an official crosswalk.
There isn't at that end. Well, why if you go right across, but nobody ever
Mhm.
does.
Like between Myers and
Yeah.
car wash.
You've got. It's legal to cross it at an intersection.
Yeah.
And you've got visibility, right, because there's no parked cars to the corners and there's no.
I'm just saying I can understand where he's coming from. If I'm-
Oh,
I can
understand.
Yeah,
Well, we're going to just leave it till we write a letter.
Well, I'll reply and just say that. It's something that will go under consideration, I guess, right, and if you wanna do a project like that, at some point, we can do that, right, but it's gotta be done properly, we just can't.
Overpass.
so,
or one of those tunnels like in Winnipeg. Zip line.
so how do other communities do it with just the crosswalk marked on the street with the signage, no lights?
Right,
No, but the
How do they
signage,
do
no,
that?
Debbie, the signage, see the X's? Because cars are parked,
Right on the curb. Cause we have to get it.
so if cars are parked there, Debbie, you can't, the cars are. Cars are parked here, so
Yeah.
for a proper crosswalk, the signs have to be visible to drivers driving in their line of sight, so if cars are parked here. Right, this crosswalk signs aren't
So how do other communities do it that don't have those
Yeah,
coming
you-
out on the street? Because other communities have that. They have a painted crosswalk on the street with the crosswalk signs up by the sidewalk.
In the middle block or at the corners? Cause corners you have visibility, right? Most of the time it's at a corner because that's where you get your visibility for the signs and
Okay.
for the crosswalk
Okay.
and stuff.
And if you do see that, there's no cars parked with the signage. in.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking,
Yeah.
that we'd have to restrict the cars parking up.
That's why you
both
see-
sides, both
That's why you see in the
next-
city, if cars are parked, you notice the ones that go up and over, and then you'll see the crosswalk above, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's So cars
Yeah.
can see, that's,
yeah, well, and that's not an option, like, those are
No.
expensive.
cause when you put those up, then you gotta put them high enough,
Yeah.
so a semi doesn't hit them or
Right.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then you have super thrifty coming and saying, wait a minute, I don't want that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's more
Yeah,
than just
no,
painting lines. on
That's
the road.
right, yeah,
Cause if someone gets hit,
Yeah.
then they,
well, I was thinking.
look
of
at
what
us.
Nissan had, but
So I don't
like,
care.
it was, but it's on the corner, it's on the
jet
corner,
out, and he goes jet out, right?
yeah,
You
if
make
you
it
notice
easy
where
for
they're parked,
customers to Get into your
They,
building.
they jet out like by the
But on-
pharmacy. If you look by the pharmacy
Yes.
and that thing,
yes,
you'll
they
notice
are,
that those curbs come out like this.
Yeah.
And the cars park,
'Cause
and
they
then the
kind-
crosswalks are on the
Yeah.
edge.
you're right,
Yeah,
yeah,
that look like just like that, but in the
Yeah.
corners.
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
All right, that's it for communication. I will read this resolution. We have resolution 210-24, be it resolved that all correspondence be received by council, moved by,
Mike,
seconded by,
Bill,
all those in favor. All in favor, carried. Nothing added to the agenda, you agree?
Nope.
We are around the table. I have a couple things. Oh. Back. What are they doing over there? Seeing there's a crane and they got the net down and
one of
there's,
those big beams.
Some more
Oh, is that what-
stone going on there right now, they're taking some more of the brick down and stuff, so.
okay. I was approached, I had a guy come to my house the other day, actually, with Dr. Vandenberg's husband. And I know what the answer is gonna be, but I said I'd bring it to council anyway. He's just got himself an electric bicycle. And he's big into green energy, electric, all that kind of stuff. And he's wondering, he says Carmen has it. They have electric golf carts that people are allowed to drive around town. Is that something we do or no? That's something we should do? I thought they did that years ago. I can remember when I was a kid, there was a guy that was always driving an electric golf cart around town.
They
See-
have those out?
Okay.
Electricity and all.
That was a show.
Thing of ribbons on the side, eh?
That was good. That was good. Typical horse and cart, yeah. But anyways, it was outlawed when he had it, so I can't remember why. But, I don't know, is that something we look at, or is it a safety thing? I don't think that, transportation would allow it.
No. They need an off-road vehicle license to be on the road, for one.
Yeah.
Two, they need proper lighting, and then they don't go the
They
speed
need to be
limit.
registered.
Yeah, then they don't go the speed limit, cause we had this with the, well, I remember we, just saying, cause the off-road vehicles, right, remember going through the ditches and all that stuff, we'd hammer down on that.
Yeah.
So,
Next is, and this is just an FYI, I seen the news tonight, Moosomin's offering $30,000 a person to move to their
I see that.
building. Yeah,
Holy. They got a.
But you don't get the 30,000 until your house is built and you're occupying it,
has to be over a certain price.
yeah,
And you have to have a Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, you gotta live in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
lots of old guys would take advantage of that.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things that was brought up at the Health Action Committee this afternoon was about the shortage of nurses and that. And this, we said we were gonna bring it up tonight for the youth counselor. I can't remember her position, it's Karen, what's her position? She's Jared's supervisor, right?
Yeah.
Karen Thomas.
Thomas?
Mhm.
And that was Karen Thomas.
Yeah.
I never caught her last.
She
Karen
said
Thomas is
that
a
there are
director.
programs and incentives for people that wanna become nurses that maybe aren't as well known as people think. So I said, that should be conveyed to the schools. You know, when you're in that grade 10, 11 type thing and you don't know what you wanna be when you grow up, if that's an option. Because there might be some people out there that might wanna look into that, but maybe can't afford it or whatever, so if that's an option, so it said we bring it up to the youth counselors, if you can take that back. And they said that they get some information or brochures and get them out, so if you can keep that in mind. At your next student council meeting, just bring up that there are ways and means, and if you wanna look into it somewhere further. Go ahead.
Maybe ask them in the next meeting, then next time they get a hold of whoever holds the. But
Yeah.
school, the career symposium.
Yeah.
But
They had the
they
career
might have that there,
symposium and
but
they had it there, but it's just a booth. And it seems to me you'd actually have to physically stop and look into, but I mean, if they have this opportunity. For people out there, and if there's a shortage of nurses, why not? So,
Yeah.
if you can put that in your pocket and. take it
Well,
back
and
with you.
this community offers some bursaries as well through at the grads as well, that people of the community have
And
put
it's not
up
just
for
nurses. Yeah.
medical, which is your lab techs,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
doctors, your nurses,
So even healthcare
all
aides
that,
or whatever. there's
anything
opportunities,
healthcare aid,
so
yeah.
Get the word out to anybody in school that wants to know what they wanna do in later life, never know, so.
or firefighter,
Mhm.
Firefighter, yeah. Anyways, that's all I had.
they're both at my school.
Deputy Mayor Kalanowicz.
Well, one thing I've been noticing a lot of is people are not stopping at stop signs. They just drive through, no yield or nothing, just drive through, don't stop.
Come to our corner.
And tailgating on First Avenue. I don't know why everybody's gotta be in such an all-fired hurry, but. Anytime I'm going to my daughter's, there's always somebody right on my back bumper. And it's getting crazier every day.
Further to, when I talked to Grady just briefly about this, I'm sure. Any or all of us that are on Facebook has read or seen the discussion around the motorcycle issue in town. And it's caused quite a bit of an uproar. And would it be the worst thing in the world? to Request our CMP to come back out again and just. Put it to them, I mean, you said that they were in there and they're doing what they can, but. Would it be? Would it look good to the community if we need, if they seen we're on it, we request the RCMP, you know, for that issue, for your issue? I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there, we pay enough, so.
They, they are working on it, that's all I can say.
Alright.
It is
They were
a
out the other
high
day, and
priority.
20 minutes later, there's a cop in town.
It's on truckers' Facebook groups and stuff, that same group and stuff, so.
What else you got, Bill?
Also, last Sunday at the monument unveiling, I think our people from the fire department and emergency
Thank you.
services did one heck of a
Oh,
job.
they did.
The park was beautiful, very well done, and I gotta congratulate you
Yeah.
guys for really doing what you did, even when the pictures fell over, somebody stepped up and
Yeah, that was one.
that was really noticed. And I think people appreciate that.
Good turnout.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and a good turnout. The other thing is the cemetery is up to par, it's, the only other question I had was who is going to maintain that park to make sure that everything is kept right up to snuff. I heard that there's a lady from the RM that does a lot of work on that park.
A couple of them, yeah, but
Oh, the daylily.
The
Mhm.
day
the staff will be looking after it.
and I think that's what I'll have.
That's it. Good. Counselor Anderson.
Stole my thunder. I can say, great job for everybody involved.
Mhm.
It's a good day, and I actually drove by there last night and the light was on the
Yeah.
block there, and that looked really good.
Well, to do that.
Good job, everybody. Yeah,
Just about lights up the cemetery.
It
yeah,
does. It's quite
she's
nice.
bright, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Anything else?
No,
Good. Counselor Ray.
Just have, just to mention, we have a bench across here by the antique shop that is just basically falling apart. Is that our bench or does that belong to somebody else? Is this one of the concrete ones?
Oh,
Oh, maybe it is ours.
Probably ours, yeah.
yeah, maybe it's just we always thought it was theirs.
Like
so
it-
Good catch.
Yeah, well, he's mowed the grass and, I think it was in amongst the natural look of the place before, so for homecoming, I think he's taken that back, but the bench is in
Well,
terrible
maybe it's just
condition.
if it's ours, it might be his.
Yeah, so just a
It might be his.
question, it's one of the cement benches, so that's a question, the other question I have is on the house that was demolished on Fourth End.
Okay,
What is with that?
Yeah.
What, is that our property now? Is it up for sale? It belongs to the owner still?
It was sold and then he tore the house down. I thought he
Okay.
had plans for a threeplex or a duplex there or something, so.
I was just wondering what they were doing with the hole, because that's a safety issue. Having the gates around there is fine. But it doesn't, it doesn't stop somebody from
it's no,
falling in that hole.
it's no worse than what was there before.
I know, but
That was even
Bill
worse.
needs to be.
it's
something
there, it
paid,
needs
yeah.
to be addressed. And other than that, just kudos to all involved with that memorial. I mean, there was a lot of work behind the scenes from everyone in that, and as well as our community. There's lots of donations that happened there, so kudos to everybody.
Council, you're done then?
Yeah.
Counselor Sudan.
Yeah, just to all the staff that got that prepared,
Mhm.
everybody from Grady all the way down to the parks and rec staff that planted the trees and all that other stuff to get that in on time. Wicked job, looks really good, and I hope, again, I know we're gonna keep that up. The stuff for the visitors when they come. The other thing, it was just, yeah, I just, again, the, mimic bill, just, I've noticed, just the drivers, but we can't. The police can only do so much, so again, just reiterate for anybody in town, if they see anything. To try to get as much information as they can, the license plate, the description of the driver. And of the car and what they're doing, and report it to the RCMP, because that's the only way we're gonna get. If they get enough reports, not just word of mouth, but if they get reports, then someone above, from what I understand, will look and be like, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on here, and then maybe do a blitz.
Yeah.
So we gotta get, just for everybody who's got any complaints or whatever, whether they're for motorcycles, tractors, or semis, or whatever. The description of the vehicle, what color, what make, the license plate, and the description of the driver, because that's the important part again. Is that anybody could be driving somebody else's car, right? So we just, that's. The big one, school's gonna start in a month here,
Mhm.
so, you know, if people start doing that. And recognizing, plus it's a small town, we all know who everyone is, so. But that's the only thing, sir, the rest is in Canada.
Mr. Mayor, just have a question on the motorcycles. Are the motorcycles the ones, and I've only seen a few of them, but lots of them are off-road vehicles,
These street bikes,
the street bikes, they're not
Unregistered.
licensed?
well,
Unregistered,
they're,
Or
well,
are
they got plates, but when they drive, the plates.
the
get
ones that
messed
they
up.
never have a plate, so I'm assuming they're unregistered.
Well, they bolt them to the bottom, so instead of the plate sitting on the bracket gets removed. And then they bolt the plate like this, so when they're driving, people can't see the plate, but
So it
technically the plate,
could-
it's illegal when they do that, but the plate is technically there.
Yeah, so
Or if they don't have
technically
it.
it's licensed, then it's not
Yeah.
an off-road.
Or it might not be.
motorcycle?
Or it might not be, like the cars that I had pictures of that I brought to that meeting, they had temporary license on them, the ones that were doing two wheels around the corner on Sunday morning, right?
Okay,
We already had the talks, when the letter sent out
Yeah.
about that, so.
my question is, in some communities, they have the off-road motorcycle trackway or whatever they call it for off-road vehicles, off-road motorcycles,
We have that.
a
Debbie.
track, where is that?
No, it's the shortest distance from your place to
No,
where.
but I mean an actual track.
A
for
dirt
the
bike track?
kids, a dirt bike track.
Well,
Ditch probably is what most everybody.
most go to the, most people go to Crown Land, right, with that, or Camp
Okay.
Hughes, but in town anyways, cause we had a problem with off-road vehicles ripping down First Avenue through the ditch, ripping
Right,
up the grass.
okay, yeah,
The bylaw is that with a plate on an off-road vehicle plate, correct me if I'm wrong, step in anytime, anybody, but if they have an off-road vehicle plate. Then you can, yet the law is from the shortest distance from where it is to where you're like taught to get out of town, right?
okay,
So that's, you can't be driving a Razor from my house on Jardine down Second Avenue to go shopping at Spud City, right? It's only to go, if I'm gonna go to the Crown Land, okay, I go from Jardine down Mans, down Fanny at a reasonable speed on the side of the road. And then once I get off road on the back roads, then I can go, right?
Okay, okay,
And then they have their own rules as well out there too, because people were doing donuts and stuff on the RM roads and tearing the RM roads up as well,
okay,
by the clubs and stuff, so just to give you an insight of that.
sounds good.
Cause we had a huge problem with them a couple of years ago.
Okay,
Thank you.
I got one more I was gonna bring up, I forgot. If I may be allowed. Driving up Market Street, Mobile Home Park. There are at least 3, maybe 4. Derelict, abandoned mobile homes in there, and in the spirit of what we've been doing, is this something that we should be talking to the owner about? Cause it's
Yeah.
not like they're gonna fall down, but I mean, you get a derelict abandoned. Mobile home and they've been like that, these ones for a long time. You're talking mice and all the rest of it. Well, in the interest of helping all the other. Neighbors out.
Yeah, I'll reach out to John.
Okay, that's
I
all.
have one more thing as well. Is there somebody living in the camper trailer? Right next
I don't
door to the municipal office?
I don't know.
Oh, down there.
Yeah, by your old place there.
Yeah,
don't know.
today.
Somebody said they think somebody is that.
We have a bylaw on that too.
I know.
Mhm.
All right, nothing else. Oh, Grady, you got anything?
No, just to appreciate the representation of town council there on Sunday. It was noticed that everyone was there and as first responders. And somebody put a lot of work into that. I really appreciated the showing there. It was noticed. So thank you guys for being there.
Wouldn't miss it.
No, we wouldn't have missed.
Anything else? Do the youth counselors have anything?
No. Well, it's been 2 years since I've joined and I guess this is my last meeting.
This your last meeting?
Yeah.
Didn't bring any cookies for you, buddy, sorry.
I just wanted to say thank you to all of you for having me on here. It means a lot to me and I've learned a ton and. I really appreciate all you guys do for youth and have done for me. On the council, so thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
We learned a lot from you too.
Thank you.
And your time, not too many
Yeah.
youth give up their time for
That's
anything,
right,
so.
thanks.
Don't
scare the new
guy
away,
Yeah.
We have cookies sometimes.
Well, good luck, Kristen.
John, you got anything? Okay. All right, I'll go to this next resolution in camera. We have resolution 211-24 be it resolved that council move in camera under section 1523B3 of the municipal act to discuss preliminary matters. Moved by,
Mike.
seconded by,
Bill.
all those in favor? Opposed, carried.
Never would.